How do you improve your career, your working life, when you've got multiple responsibilities? Let's talk about this. I posted another video talking about taking charge of your healthcare career. As a registered nurse, as a staff nurse working in a part of the world that maybe you want to change, or you're working in a department and there are actually no career progression opportunities. What do you do? One of the things that when I look back, having worked in the healthcare industry for a while, now involved in coaching and helping people to promote and market your brand, here are some ideas that I want you to consider and think about. As much as you have multiple responsibilities, here's what I want you to do. Think about where you want your career to be in the next 3 years, because apart from maybe being a parent, maybe you're also supporting aging parents. You want to get to a place in your life where you have options. I'm really an advocate for having options, because when you have options, you will never feel stuck in your career. So, for example, as a nurse, you are working in a department that you're not very happy. And that could be for a number of reasons. It could be because of the culture you're in, the people that you're working with. It could be the pay is not that good because you have more expenses than other people. Or maybe you don't enjoy it. You started, yes, it's a department you started in. Maybe it's pediatrics, maybe it's surgical, maybe it's medical, maybe it's theater, wherever you are. Maybe it's elderly, maybe it's renal, whichever department you're in right now. Maybe after working there for a while, a year or two, you just realize it's not for you anymore. One of the things you want to think about is it really you, or is it the environment? Is it the kind of people that you work with? Maybe it's not the right place for you. Because yes, there's one thing to be said about working with difficult people, working in a team. How can you make the most? Here's what I'm going to say, we're going to discuss here. How can you make the most of your career where you are now so it can serve you better later? Yes, I hope that is making sense. How can you make the most of your career now? Support yourself so that you can create a vision, a roadmap for where you want to be. Because you see, you may feel stuck in your career right now, like, I need to leave, maybe even thinking of walking away from nursing altogether. What if you don't have to walk away? Maybe it's just changing, working in a completely new department, giving yourself more options. Or maybe it's about working in another town, in another city. What are your priorities right now? Can you support your family? The income you're making right now, can you support your family? Or will it mean doing extra work, agency work? Or what about you start where you are, ask for a raise, or ask to do extra courses? Yes. Um, some of my research, I found that you have so many options career wise. You must never feel stuck. What I want you to think about right now is, what do you really want? Yes. What do you really want, and what do you want to accomplish? Because when you start thinking about your career and your life that way, that is you giving yourself options. That is you taking charge of your professional lifestyle. That is you deciding your personal brand. A personal brand is an idea in the marketplace that showcases who you are, what your values are, what you stand for, what you're against, what you care about, what is important to you. That is why we're all different in the marketplace. So, in your career as a nurse, maybe as a social worker, as a caregiver, as a physiotherapist, as a chiropractor, what do you care about? What matters to you? Maybe, like in my case, I remembered when I walked away from the NHS, I felt like I couldn't give my clients, my patients, the attention that I felt they deserved. I had to learn how to give my patients the attention that I felt they deserved in the environment I was in. As much as I tried, as far as I remember, is that was not possible. I felt like there was too much work. Of course, another problem, another contributing factor was not enough staff. So, how do you work in a place where there isn't enough staff? And that's going to be an ongoing issue. There are so many nursing jobs right now in the UK, by the way. If you're watching this, you're based in the UK, listen, get in touch with me. I'm doing coaching to help those of you are in the health who are still working in the healthcare industry, how to make the most of your career. What I learned on my own journey, and now doing coaching, doing marketing, and even recruiting, where you can be self-employed if you want. You can become your own business. You run your own business. But before you even step out, I want to prepare you, because these are some of the things I didn't have a coach to help me. So I'm here helping you and supporting you to start monetizing your skill set where you are, to prepare you for where you want to go. Because it's about a mindset shift. Here's one of the things about the healthcare industry: you do not see yourself as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. But here's the thing: when I applied to work for a hospital in the United Kingdom, I was working with another hospital. I worked in 3 different countries. I was bringing my skill set, so I was offering my services. Yes, it's a completely different mindset. I was bringing my services, my skill set, and to contribute to the organization that was looking for different levels of staff. Yes, that they were hiring and willing to pay, and they decided how much. And what I know now, really differently, and of course it's changed over the years, is to bargain for more. Yes, so the organization I was working for is like a client. I want to help you to think like this as you prepare to move into your own business or get to the next level. And I think some of you is going to throw you, but when you really think about it, it will make sense. Because listen to this: if you're not willing to develop your skill set, your leadership skills, how to be proactive, you will stay on the same income level for many, many years. Yes. And if you're not proactive about your income level, your personal development, the industry is already, understaffed. Nobody has time to be chasing you like, oh, do you want a more senior role? Right? Sometimes it happens, yes, I'm sure sometimes it happens. But sometimes you may be working in an organization or a hospital that they are too busy, or people just don't care. And you have to decide for yourself, where do I want to be? Where do I want to take my career? How can I get proactive about it? And this is where I want to help you with the coaching, because you have to be intentional about it. And you have to give yourself a time frame. Like, I want in the next 6 months to be on a different level. I want to apply for another job. And I want to gather so much information that when I go to ask perhaps for a pay rise, I've got enough evidence to show to my manager. Here are some examples of what I did, right? I just need to turn something off. Just a second. Here's some scenarios where you're intentional. You're working with patients and you are reviewing what worked, what didn't work. When you took this decision, when a colleague came and supported you, or you asked somebody else to help you start creating your own case studies. Oh, the opportunities. You can build your own career. You can chart your own course within your healthcare industry. This is a completely new mindset. This is a completely different way of looking at it, like a manager. Yes? Where you're taking charge of your career, deciding, where you're thinking like a doctor, you're thinking like a surgeon, where you're taking charge. It doesn't matter how much they pay you. Your value is more than what they pay you. Yes? You have to understand that. That's a conditioning. Sometimes people don't realize that you are accepting that, oh, because I'm paid a certain amount, that's all no. Prove to the marketplace that you don't see yourself according to the income you are being paid right now. Yes? Have you heard of this term? I think it's Robin Sharma who first spoke about it. How to lead without a title. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Do not wait until you get a promotion to start acting like a leader wherever you're working right now. Yes? Do not wait until you are given a title. What if that promotion ever comes? You can start acting like a leader in the department where you work, where you're asking questions, where you're contributing, where you're asking for deadlines. Okay, when do we need to achieve this? When do we need to do this? Okay, where you start noticing sometimes people, and this is, I think, across the industry, where agency nurses are only hired at the last minute. Is there a way we can plan for that ahead of time? Yes. Do we have a list of agencies that we can call on at any time of day or night? Maybe because of sickness. We had the pandemic, right? And I know I'm not in the industry that directly now, but as an outsider, how can we prevent certain things that happened then, now, if it comes again? Yes. If we have a pandemic again, who do we have as backup to support us for emergencies? Because as much as people are clapping for the NHS, the staff, clapping doesn't pay bills. Clapping doesn't improve your professional skills. It doesn't. You know, people in the healthcare industry, we do what we do because it's what we love to do. We don't necessarily do it for people to applaud. But everybody wants to be recognized at some point, and if nobody will, you can do it for yourself. So by the decisions that you start making, by becoming proactive. So how do you lead without a title? Because you see, you have to think differently from everybody else to be exceptional, to be different. And you can place your career at a level where it's like if you were to work for another company, right? They'll look at your examples because you're creating this, you're creating your own roadmap. If you were to interview for a more senior role in another company, you've already been practicing in the company where you are, right? You can start doing that now. And so this is the real world we live in. You may not even be recognized for that, but you have this idea in your mind. Should I be ready to move on? I'm already acting like a leader right now. You don't need the title. The title, it's good, but you don't have to wait for a title. So for example, in a ward, I shared this example before, even on another social media platform. Maybe you are given responsibility over 15 patients or 18 or 20 or 30 patients, whatever it is. You can start as you're getting the handover, the report from the night shift, if you're working day shift or you're working afternoon shift, whatever shift you're working. What are our priorities right now? Because you can have a section, and I know because of shortage of staff, you have to decide who your priority patients are, what your priority activities are. Are there any patients that are going for surgery? Are there any patients who, like diabetics, they need to get bloods done? What are the priority activities now? Because you have to think, if this were my company, how would I want it to function with the staff that we have? Who are our priority patients? Because you have some patients who just want to talk non-stop, right? They need attention. You can just reassure them, listen, I'll talk to you later, I'll make some time, and if I don't manage, I will speak to you later. You can catch up with them later when your shift is over. Like a leader, you just spend maybe 10-15 minutes with that patient. That patient will feel heard, right? And that's outside of your time. You're not being paid. And I know you're probably going, oh, I'm not being paid for that. You are not thinking like a leader. You're not thinking like an entrepreneur. You're not thinking like a business owner. You're not thinking like somebody who wants to make more money than you're making right now. A lot of people complain about the money they're making right now, but they're not doing anything in their own professional development to earn more money. Because there are people who are making more than you, right? So you think like a leader, you prioritize what your activities are. Yes? When is the medication going to be done? Who's going to make sure all the patients are watched? Who's going to make sure, checking any patients that are at risk of bleeding? Somebody who had surgery maybe yesterday. Yes? I'm trying to imagine some of the departments that I worked many years ago, like the high dependency departments. Who are my priority patients? And what support do I have? Even the sister in charge, yes. If you need some support with certain patients, you can ask them straight away, like straight up. I really need some help with this patient. I can manage on my own. These are my priority patients. I need some support. There wasn't any kind of coaching like this, what I'm talking about right now, when I was working then. Yes. So I brought this coaching to help those of you who are at risk of burnout. Those of you may be feeling like, is this it? And you're like, I'm walking away. You may not necessarily have to walk away from your career right now. It may mean maybe changing the department, having more experience, having more skill set. Maybe you're working in a surgical department and it's chaotic, it's dramatic, and you don't feel supported. And maybe the leadership is a little bit disorganized, it's all over the place. You can decide, you know what, I'm not dealing with this. You can decide to go and work in a slower paced department, yes? Where you decide this, we're not doing the best we can for our patients, yes? And if the opportunity to discuss issues and problems is there, there's room created to do that. You say, look, you take ownership. I don't think we are giving our patients the best support that they need. Yes, so you can present those problems and challenges and you bring the solutions as well. Do not think, oh, they won't recognize me, they won't pay me enough. This is going to be skills that you will use later in a more senior role because you are already building up the evidence for yourself. I want to encourage you to actually open up a folder for yourself, your professional development folder. Yes? And any leadership courses that are available, check so that you can get funding where you are working right now. You can get funding to do more courses. You don't have to start paying for your own courses out of your own pocket. Check which courses you can do. Yes, if you work in a department a year, I remember one hospital I worked, I was there probably 6 or 7 months and I went and did more extra courses. It was paid for. So you can do that now. Make the most of everything that you've got right now. A lot of people don't realize this. Because you see, I was doing some research even recently. There are so many jobs for registered managers. There are so many vacancies right now for registered care managers. Up to 60,000, 70,000. That's really good income. And of course, you'll probably be thinking, oh, it will be more work and all this. Listen, when it comes to the healthcare industry, if you are willing to work with difficult patients to start with, you're willing to learn how to get organized and to work with others, you're willing to do all the hard work for now, can I say this to you? You will never struggle with earning an income. You will never struggle with options because you're willing to do the hard work. Yes? When you are willing to learn how to work with patients with dementia, patients who are a challenge, you will always have work because those are one of the highest paying in the healthcare industry. Yes? So there are a lot of vacancies right now for registered care managers. If you are interested and you want to go through the coaching to prepare you so that you can take on these roles, especially if you've been doing what you do for 2-3 years, or you can start preparing yourself for this. Yes, my part is to support you, coach you, so that you can start doing that kind of work. Because the hours will also be different. Some of us, you don't want to do bedside nursing all your life, right? Bedside nursing, shortage of staff, and all the drama that goes with it. You have options. You can also go into health coaching. There are so many options for you. So before you decide, you know what, I'm sick and tired of this, let's maximize where you are right now. Yes. And look at the options that are available for you. Because you don't have to settle where you're not happy. You don't have to stay in a place that doesn't support your career progression, that doesn't support the lifestyle that you choose. I remember for some years I did night shift and that worked really well for me because the income was better and I was able to do school runs for my family, so that worked really well. But after a while I decided, okay, I'm done with this, I want to do something different. So it's good to understand that you have options and I want to coach you so we look at your options and prepare you for what's next. So listen, if you like what I've said and it resonates with you, you're one of those people that doesn't want to feel stuck. You know you could easily start making 6 figures if you want because there's a way to do that. The planning, the strategy. Get in touch with me. Yes? I'm going to put the link somewhere down below. I'm not sure where you're going to watch this. I'll put the link somewhere down below. you can register and you can get onto my waiting list and we can get started with that. Listen, I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.